So it took us 8 weeks to get across the state of North Carolina, but we finally made it.
And here we are in eastern Tennessee, rolling over the hills, and they've got them. Watch out, Tennessee, because we're here, and it's going to be crazy.
Yay!
We made it.
Hi, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Ed.
And this is General, our totally awesome water dog.
We used to live on the Outer Banks in North Carolina, but one day we found both of ourselves unemployed.
So we decided to take a chance. We sold everything, bought a trailer, and left to explore America. We're learning as we go along, but we still make mistakes.
But we get a lot of things right, too. So come join us as we learn to RV full-time, explore America, and share in our exciting journey of discovery. Our next adventure is just over the hills.
We had a beautiful pink sunset on our first night in town. On our first day of exploring, we went to Cades Cove in the Townsend, Tennessee area, and I've been wanting to see this place for quite some time. Cades Cove is an early settlement, and they have a bunch of the original homes that they are preserving on the property. So this was going to be really neat, and I was so looking forward to it.
We're at the first stop on the Cades Cove Loop. This is the John Oliver cabin, built in about 1820. This is the Dan Lawson house, built in 1856. And the bricks were made right here on this site. This is one of the outbuildings, but I thought it was curious that they nailed boards over the space between the logs rather than packing it with mud. There's the outside. This is the Tipton house, built in the 1870s, but the Tiptons never lived here. They lived in another county. Colonel Tipton served in the Mexican War. And this house was rented to another family in the 1870s until they bought their own property in Cades Cove and were able to move into their own house. This is a pretty nice house. It's big. There's the upstairs. There's another room over there. There's the spring house right next to the spring. So across the street from the house, and of course I don't know if there was actually a street going through here. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But this is the corn crib. And behind that we got one of them fancy cantilever barns. We're at the Smoky Mountain Heritage Center. And they actually have 13, I think, buildings out behind their museum that are have all been brought from other locations. But this looks to be the main house, or maybe a tavern type situation.
Well, this was used as a post office serving 8 families in the Springs area. And it's a stagecoach stop for the Montvale Springs Resort. The cabin was believed to have been also used as an inn where travelers could stop for meals and lodging. And there's even been stories reported that it was used as a hiding place for Confederate troops during the Civil War. Early inns provided travelers with the basic needs, food, and lodging. Few women traveled by stagecoach due to the primitive conditions of the roads and lodging, so men were primarily guests at the inn. In the late 1830s, a traveler paid 12.5 cents for a bed. Beds and bed bugs were offered shared by strangers, and the tavern's simple menu with prices of the food was posted for all to see. The inn was the gathering place for the community where the news that the travelers brought with them was shared by all.
Awesome. This looks to be a single family home. Another awesome fireplace. Here's the steps going to the second floor. This is the outside of the what was it, the stagecoach stop building?
Yeah.
Tavern, boarding house. And this is the outside of the single family home that we were just in. That is an awesome chimney. This is the back of the boarding house. Got a little church. A bigger cantilever barn. And this is the wheelwright shop. Got some nice antique stuff in here. The cute little sleigh. You can see all the pulleys and gears on the ceiling or on the roof rafters. It goes all the way. Various pulleys to run different equipment. You can see some of the belts coming down to run some of the machinery. Of course, no village is ever complete without a water tower. Another little house. This is more into the 1900s. I'm working on a sawmill. Got says this is part of the sawmill project, so I'm not sure if this is complete. That's pretty awesome. I've never really seen one of these up close before. And this building they have set up to be a print shop. And this is more into the 1900s too, but still pretty cool stuff.
Some bear photographs taken by photographer Bill Lee were on display in the museum. Pretty awesome photos. You should check them out. Did a little bit of driving on the Foothills Parkway, which would be the Tennessee equivalent to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Pretty awesome scenery. The main road through Pigeon Forge is a 6-lane road, very busy, and it's just packed on both sides with all kinds of buildings. It's got, you know, hotels, restaurants, stores, all kinds of attractions. There is a ton of stuff to do in Pigeon Forge. Nobody can ever go there and say that they're bored. Here are some of the more popular attractions. We took General for a walk on the Gatlinburg Trailhead, which starts out downtown, but then it starts to go uphill towards the Sugarland Visitor Center, and it runs right next to a creek, so he was able to get his feet wet 2 or 3 times before the trail went over the river and started uphill, and we conked out at that point and decided to go back because it was a pretty steep hill.
Came outside to check on General, and he's enjoying himself. Likes to lay in between the truck and the trailer. And we've been fighting ants, and I just spotted this. Check this out. That is the biggest ant hill mound, I don't even know what you'd call it, I've ever seen in my life. No wonder we got ants. Look at them little buggers. So today we are off to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, having a, I guess, Sandy and Ed day. We're having guilt, something awful, because we left General behind in the trailer. It's better than taking him and leaving him in the vehicle, and there's no place to park in Gatlinburg. They have a trolley service, and it's the best way to go. So we're about to go play in Gatlinburg, and we're going to take you along with us.
Finally got on the trolley. Dot Collier's Moonshine. Did you see this though? Remember what happened the last time we did a moonshine thing? Look at this machine making the taffy. It's wrapping it up and everything. That is so cool.
We found this place called The Village, which is just off the main road, and it's a collection of shops and restaurants all unto itself, and they all have this kind of Swiss chalet design to them. It was just the cutest place, and we had an awesome time walking around in there. We found a Greenway in Sevierville, Tennessee, and we decided to take General up there and take him for a walk, and it was just beautiful. And since we were in the neighborhood, we decided that we wanted to take a look around town too and see what they had. The courthouse was amazing, and there was actually a statue of Dolly Parton in the front yard of the courthouse, and that was pretty awesome. She's contributed a lot to this county.
What's the name of the one?
Little Cove Road.
Little Cove Road. Good Lord.
Yeah, we went up that with the trailer. You all have to Google that one of these days and see what it looks like. But oh my goodness, that was a mess.
So our whole point in recording this little conversation, as we're off to our next adventure, is to warn y'all before we forget to mention it in any kind of entry we may do later, that do not listen to your Garmin, don't listen to Google, don't go down Little Cove Road when you're out in the, if you're in the eastern Tennessee area. Don't do it. Maybe just in your vehicle, like if you're doing a travel trailer, then it's fine. But, and I don't know if someone went up there in that area with a motorhome, I don't know if they would make it.
No, it had some really tight switchbacks in it, and some really, you know, that the road would be level, and then all of a sudden it would take off uphill. So there's places where you could, you know, bang your front end up or bottom out, or it was just a mess. It was a mess.
So that's your tip for the day.
Yes.
True to our nature of not being prepared, even though we have all the equipment. We just took a strenuous hike.
Which we thought was just going to be a nice walking trail.
Over all this stone. We visited the Noah Bud Ogle farm. And you're going to see some stills of it. But this is comical. We got every time we go home, when we're back at the little house, we talk about being prepared.
Yeah, we have a backpack that's got water for us to drink and stuff like that. And I didn't even bring my sneakers. They're not even in the truck right at the moment, so I wore my flip-flops.
Sandy's walking through the wood, through mud, across rocks, across trails.
Over creeks.
Over creeks on logs. And
in my flip-flops.
Getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And General is so excited.
He was pulling us the whole way.
He'll jerk you as he goes along.
He had a great time.
Will we do it again? Sure, we'll probably do it tomorrow. Yeah. We'll do something silly. Oh, we're a hot one. So this is a trail of sorts, littered with rocks. Yeah. That way.
House so small that you can't even get inside it. There's the mill chute. It's kind of going downhill here. And there's the grinder and stuff. Smell the cedar. This definitely smells like cedar. And they got steps going down the other side of the building so you can see the workings under here. See, it was a horizontal wheel that turned the grinder up above. I think this is called the Place of 1,000 Drips. It's just one little waterfall after another. It's really awesome looking.
While filming in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area, the cast and crew of Over the Hills stayed at the fabulous Honeysuckle Meadows RV Park in Wares Valley, Tennessee. I've always wanted to do something like that.